everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. We are in the final stretch for Retrotember, and this week we are taking a look at one of my favorite, all-time favorite franchises from back in the day, one of my favorite IPs. That is, of course, Conan the Barbarian. And whether we're talking about cartoons, whether we're talking about the Robert E. Howard books, whether we're talking about the movie that these figures are based off of, Conan the Barbarian, Arnold's big breakthrough movie, the Marvel comics even, the new comics that are being put out by Titan, I am such a fan of Conan the Barbarian, the original novels, the updated movies, everything. And when Super7 came out with these, I had to get them. There's so much goodness going on here. First of all, they're figures based off of one of my favorite movies, as I said, Conan the Barbarian. I had missed the Ultimates line, so I never bothered picking any of them up, because if you can't, with something like the Ultimates, especially Conan, if you can't get the whole line, what's the point? Because I had already missed Rexor, and I can't remember what the other ones, Thorgrim? Yeah, Rexor and Thorgrim. I had already missed them, so I didn't bother picking up any of the other Ultimates except for that Valeria that we looked at the beginning of the month. These are something completely different. These are Conan the Barbarian figures done in that Masters of the Universe 5.5-inch scale design. And I love this because I'm sure if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you know the 5.5-inch line for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was supposedly supposed to originally be based off of Conan. So to have these figures in this style, that's just fun. And when Super7 came out with these, like I said, I had to pick them up. I was very excited about them. This was the first one that was out. I saw him, I thought he was cool, I snagged him. This is Wave 1, the bloody version of the Warpaint Conan. This was also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so that's Wave 1, but then Wave 2 was these figures, the standard Warpaint, and then Conan Suns Out, Guns Out. And these two I'm going to open. This one I'm going to leave in the packaging. I just wanted to put it here so you could see it, and I believe this one is still available. These two I think are still available too. I honestly didn't check before I started this video, so if these are available, I will put links to them in the description below. I believe these you can still get at Super7's website. I'm not sure about things like Entertainment Earth and Big Bad, but like I said, if they're available, I'll put links to them down below. And what we have is some really awesome carded figures. You can see they're just on like a blister shell, blister card, just like the original Motu figures were. Something else that I liked, because, you know, adult collectible, that the cards aren't punched. They have the peg hole right there, but they're not punched. So that's going to be very cool for this one. I love the whole fire motif in the background behind it, like the forge at the beginning of the movie. And then you flip these around back, and they all basically have the same backing. They have the figures that are currently available, the 3 versions of Conan, and you have this great image of Arnold. This is when, I believe this is supposed to be when he came up out of the Atlantean tomb with the Atlantean sword, chopped the chain off, and was, you know, saying to the wolves, "Bring it on." So that was early in the movie. That was when he first became a free man. You got the man, the myth, the legend, James Earl Jones back here as Thulsa Doom, and his temple and Fuego in the background. Oh, and I've missed it over here. You have the Riders of Doom. I missed that the first time. So that's very cool as well. The image is done in the art style of the original movie poster, which a lot of people think that that was Frazetta, but it wasn't. It was Casaro. Yeah, I think that's what his name was. Casaro, who was an artist that worked very closely with Dino De Laurentiis. And so he was the one that designed the original poster. And I believe this art style, this look, is meant to be in that vein. So let's flip these around. Let's stop talking about the packaging because these are getting opened. This one will stay in the package, but let's get these open and let's take a look at Super7 Conan the Barbarian 5.5-inch figures. Okay, here they are, the two Conans out of the box, and putting the tape measure down between them, we can see that yes, they are pretty much 5.5 inches dead on to the top of their heads. So let's get this out of the way right off the top. Yes, essentially, these are all basically the same figure, just with different paint apps. Everything from the face sculpt, to the hair, to the body, to the torso, even to the clothing they're wearing. These are all basically just the same figure with 2 different paint apps, 3 with, so if you count some blood splatter right there. But I knew what I was getting into when I got them, and to be completely honest, I didn't care. I just wanted to get them, especially since who knows if we're going to get more. I would love it if we did. I think that'd be pretty cool. So let's look at the face sculpt. That, quite honestly, for what these are, the size of these figures, this is not a bad likeness of Arnold. It might be a little longer in the face than what Arnold is, but it's not horrible, especially when you look at it from like this angle right there. Dead on, I don't know, like maybe the mouth is a little bit wide, maybe the jaw is a little bit wide, but like right there and profile, those are actually some pretty good likenesses of Arnold, especially with the big flowing mane that he has right here. Now, in the movie, these pants, he wore these pants a lot, but the only time I can remember this look, the pants and totally shirtless with the wristbands, was basically after he came back from the dead. After Subutai and Valeria fought away the spirits, and he came back to life after being crucified on the tree. And he was practicing with the Atlantean sword. That's the only time I can remember him having this look with just the pants, the bracers, and shirtless. And around his neck, we can see he has the Wheel of Pain medallion going around his neck. They made it silver. I wish they would have made it brown. I know the silver, especially on the pretty much dark colored figures, the silver really makes it pop. But the Wheel of Pain was made from basically sticks, I think, and was held around his neck with a piece of leather. So, aesthetically speaking, it looks good that it's silver. Screen accurate, it should really be like brown and tans. But that is neither here nor there. I really dig the detail work they put on the boots. Like, I feel like the boots have way more going on for them than they should for a figure like this. And to better see what I'm talking about, let's bring up the war paint version where they did some paint apps, and you can actually see like the lacing going around the boot, not just the fur. And then you have like, whoop, come on, focus. And then you have like the laced cuffs down here at the bottom of the fur, like holding it all on his leg. I think that is really cool. You can also see on this one, you get a better idea of what's going on with the armbands, with the leather straps, and then the rope going around it. And I think these look really good. I really do. Once again, we have the Wheel of Pain in silver. We have all of the war paint for when they were attacking the Undermountain, when they were infiltrating Paradise, basically. This version, the war paint version, has this loincloth thing going on. I don't remember him wearing this in the movie, but who cares? It looks cool. That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's get back to our standard version right here, and let's take a look at the articulation. That his head would be able to do a full 360, except this big heavy mane of hair does get in the way, and you can see that it also traps the cable, or traps the necklace from the Wheel of Pain underneath it, so the necklace moves with him. And sometimes it sticks up a little too far. The arms will do a full 360 spin, and that's it. That's it for the arms. There's no butterfly. There's no shoulder hinge. Nothing at the elbows. Nothing at the bicep. I was hoping at least maybe the wrists would swivel or pivot. Nothing. This is very much Masters of the Universe circa 1982. Arms move. We have a waist twist that it will go all the way around. There's a little bit of detents. I don't know if you can hear that. Hold on. Can you hear that? But so we have those detents in there, nothing at the waist. And then our next point of articulation is down here at the hips, that unlike the Masters of the Universe figures, there's no band holding them together. They're all hinged, that the legs can pivot in and out. They can go out to there. They'll come up to 90. They'll go forward that far. They'll go back that far. And like I said, they will hinge in and out, but that's it. There's nothing at the knees, there's nothing at the ankles, there's nothing at the thigh. So basically you have neck, shoulders, waist, hips, and that's it. I mean, what else were you expecting? There's more play in the legs than I was expecting, to be completely honest, but I guess it does kind of mimic that ball joint that the original Masters of the Universe figures had. So, yeah, that's the figure. I don't have too many figures that are this basic and this simple, so there we go. Like I said, all three of them are basically the same. These two are exactly the same, just with some blood splatter on it. This is definitely my favorite, though. Like, even though the facial expression is the same, this one just looks so much meaner, really. And yeah, I just love the whole look of this. The only accessory any of them come with is the Atlantean sword, and I really kind of dig this. I like the sculpt of it. It is all silver. I don't mind that. Like, this part down in here should definitely be gold. The pommel should be gold. The handle should be wrapped in brown, but it actually looks really good, just molded all in this high gloss silver plastic right here. I love that there are some dings in the blade, like some battle damage to the blade right there. I think it looks great. The handle is completely smooth. I would have liked to have seen maybe some texturing for the handle right here, just to at least mimic the wraps. But that is a nitpick that I'm not going to be too upset about, because they did get the runes right here going up the middle of the Atlantean blade. Like, I love the Atlantean sword. This is so iconic to Conan, and they did a really good job in sort of like a chunky, chubby style version of it that fits these figures perfectly. You can see that Warpaint has it in his hands right now. So let's bring this one up, and this will fit. He gets a really tight grip on it, but you have to sort of like pull his fingers out a little to get the blade in there, kind of like you had to do with the original Masters figures, if I recall correctly. That you can see, you can just work it into his grip right there, and he gets a really solid grip on it. There we go. And that is the only, it's a little, oh man, does that look good? It's a little oversized for him, but like at this scale, I feel like weapons were always a little oversized. I kind of want to get my He-Man figure out of my dad's attic now. Not to like put them together, but like to put the shield and the battle axe in his hands, just to see how that looks too. Oh, I really wish I had that stuff. I don't have any of my old vintage Masters figures to like start putting weapons in his hands to see how that looks. But these look awesome. I kind of want to get a Battle Cat now and put Conan on a Battle Cat and see how that looks. Or maybe a Panther. Yeah, a Panther I think would be more his style. That would be really cool. Get my old Panther and get Conan mounted on that. That would be fantastic. One thing that I almost forgot to show you was that even with this Cloth Goods loincloth on right here, he still has no problems turning. Like, if you just grip the loincloth to hold it in position, you can still get that spin out of him, or you can have it turn with him if you would want to. So this does not interfere with the articulation, which is good considering they don't have a whole lot of articulation to begin with. So for size comparisons, I don't have anything even remotely close to this line. So having said that, here they are beside Bandai Namco Demon Slayer, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. Here they are beside the Loyal Subjects IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael. Here they are beside the Mattel Masters of the Universe Masterverse New Eternia He-Man. Here they are beside McFarlane Toys Spawn Series Medieval Spawn. Here they are beside Super7 Ultimates Conan the Barbarian Valeria Spirit. Here they are beside NECA Toys Dungeons & Dragons Warduke and Grimsword. And finally, here they are with Airborne and me from the G.I. Joe Steel Corps. So these are fun. I don't know how else to put it. I know these aren't going to be for everybody, but they're just fun. The basic articulation, the solid body sculpts, the great look for the Atlantean sword in this scale. Yes, all three of them are the same figure, but I love that war paint look just as much as I love the standard version of him with just the pants and the shirtless top. Like, they're just fun to have. And if I collected Masters of the Universe, I could see these being a great add-on to that line. Also, it seems to me like, and I don't pay much attention to these size figures, but it does seem to me that like over the past couple years, this scale, this design has really taken off. And there are a few indie companies out there that are putting out figures at this scale that these could just blend into, or you could use those figures to like supplement this and like, you know, give Conan some baddies to fight. I just think this is a really fun line, and I really hope that Super7 is going to continue with this. Now, I don't expect that they're going to go as deep as they do with the Ultimates line, but I would love to see Subutai in this line. I would love to see Akira, like just this really buffed out Mako, or Mako, in his wizard gear. Obviously Thulsa Doom, obviously Rexor and Thorgrim, like, you could do Valeria in that Tila style look, like the whole thing. Like there's so many possibilities for this that like I would love, even if they just do like the main cast and you don't have to get like real funky with variants of the figures. Although Conan in his armor from the Battle of the Mounds in this style, that would look pretty cool. For the size that these figures are, for the scale that these figures are, I think the face sculpt is really spot on. I think it's a really good likeness of Arnold. Not 100%, but considering the like I said, the size, and they're not using something like photo real or anything like that, I think they did a really good job on the face sculpt. I really like what they did with the Atlantean sword. Despite the fact that half of it is the wrong color, I don't really care about that. I think the Atlantean sword looks awesome. I just wish it had some sort of scabbard with it. Maybe not something that's like permanently attached to the figure, but just like some sort of sheath that could be like slung over his shoulder or slung across his back. Just something to sheath it. I think that would have looked really cool. So like I said, I forgot to look before I started doing this video, but the last time I looked, they were up for pre-order on Super7's website, on places like Entertainment Earth. I do believe the SDCC variant, the Bloody Warpaint Conan, I do believe he is sold out pretty much everywhere at this point. So if you wanted the bloody version, you might have to go to the secondary market, but I'm fairly certain the Wave 2, the standard version of Conan and the Warpaint Conan, I believe still are available. This week is going to be a little busy. We got this video with the Conan figures. We got another review video coming up on probably Thursday. We got week 5 of the Target Fall Geek Out, plus there's 25 years of Big Bad Toy Store to talk about. And coming up this Friday, we're going to have a Friday night game night. So stay tuned because there's plenty coming down the line for this week. Don't touch that dial. Before you go, please remember to do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you already are a subscriber, what a legend you are. If you like what we do here and you want to help the channel grow, please consider becoming a member, whether through YouTube memberships or our coffee monthly subscription. Links to that in the description below. Both of them for $1 a month, you can get access to exclusive content, such as our monthly member exclusive video. This month is the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Stinger. So until next time, my friends, play well, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.